Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a continuation of the kind of miscarriage video. This is going to be a trying to conceive kind of update video. I just wanted to talk about what's been going on with me, how how the miscarriage has affected my body physically, emotionally, mentally, and all that stuff, because I know I'm probably not the only one going through this or struggling with it, and I figured it might be a little therapeutic for me to kind of talk to you about it and explain what I'm feeling, what I'm going through, and who knows, maybe it'll help somebody, and if I help at least one person, then this video has done what I want it to do. So I think I'm almost exactly 2 months from the date of my miscarriage. I miscarried on October 5th. I'm filming this on December 7th, and I think this is going up tomorrow on the 8th. So I'm just past the 2-month mark from the miscarriage. Now, mind you, this video is probably going to be a little TMI, and I'm assuming if you're watching this, then you're going through it, you know what happens to a woman's body, you know all that stuff. So if you don't want to hear about it, if you're kind of grossed out, or it, just probably shut the video off now, because yeah, we're going to be talking about some things that happen after a miscarriage and what happens to a woman's body. Okay, so my experience with the miscarriage is I had taken the medicine, I can't even think of the name. I think it starts with an M. The doctor just told me a couple days ago what it was, but I took that about 2 or 3 weeks after the baby had technically passed away, because I had a missed miscarriage. So I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks. My body wasn't starting the process itself, so I took the 4 pills under my tongue and let it dissolve, and it did its job within a couple hours of actually taking it. After that, I bled for about 3 weeks straight since the miscarriage started till the end of that bleed. So about 3 weeks I bled for that. It wasn't actually terrible. It was a reasonable amount. A lot of people say it's a heavy amount, but for me it really wasn't. I'm just pulling up my calendar so I can see. So I bled from the 5th through the 22nd. And pretty much once I stopped bleeding from the miscarriage, we were not trying to prevent a pregnancy. Everything I read and researched said that pretty much the first 3 months after a miscarriage is when you're most fertile. So I was like, okay, well, we're not gonna, avoid it. We're gonna just, if it happens, it happens. So we tried, and every single month since then, or every single cycle or whatever, I've gotten my hopes up. I've never had PMS symptoms at all. Never. And so when I had symptoms these past couple cycles, I was like, this has to be it. Maybe I got pregnant. Who knows? Because I got pregnant on the pill with my son, and then I actually got pregnant within the first month of trying with the baby that I lost. So I'm like, okay, hopefully it won't be hard to get pregnant again, and maybe hopefully it'll be like, snap, it'll happen right away. Well, it didn't. So every month, or every cycle, because my cycles have been weird, so I can't even say every month. It's only been 2 months, but my cycles have been crazy. So every cycle I've got my hopes up, because I actually got PMS symptoms, which I've never before. So I thought those are pregnancy symptoms, and I was wrong. And that's okay. In this video, I want to make sure to say that it's okay to have emotions. It's okay that your emotions are completely a mess. There's some days that I'm totally fine, and then there's one day that I just start breaking down in tears. I don't know why I'm crying. I'm just sitting there sobbing. I can't really pinpoint what it is. I'm sad that I lost the baby because, we are in December. It's Christmas time. It's a hard time to go through loss. And especially right now, there's so many people, posting and announcing, and it's hard. It's like your heart breaks every time you see that. because you're like, why can't that be me? You know? I didn't think I'd get emotional, but I am. Okay, so you always wonder, why can't that be me? And I know it's going to happen. I know it's going to happen. I know it's going to come, but I'm impatient. I hate waiting. And it's okay. It's okay to feel sad. It's okay to feel hurt. It's okay to feel heartbreak. It's okay to be jealous, you know? When I have friends come and tell me I'm pregnant, and it's like, whew, it's a mix of emotions, because you want to be so happy for them, and you are so happy for them. But then you get this other side where, like, why can't that be me? And I keep saying that, but that's kind of like what goes through your head, because you're like, what did I do wrong? And I know everybody says, you didn't do anything wrong. There's nothing you can do to stop it. But you still think, what did I do wrong? And it's hard. It's okay to feel that. It's okay to be emotional. It's okay to be mourning that baby and still trying for another one. It's okay. That's the thing, is you have to know it's okay. You know, I feel like through this whole process, I've been going crazy. I'm like, I've lost it. I'm an emotional wreck. My hormones are everywhere, and I'm just going absolutely crazy. But it took me some time to realize that it's okay. And that's why I keep saying it. It's okay to be a mess. It's okay to be everywhere. So if you need someone to tell you that, I'll tell you 100 times in this video. It's okay. You're okay. You'll get through it. We all will get through it. I know it doesn't seem like that now, but we will. Okay, so now that I have gone on that little tangent, as you can see, mentally and emotionally, it's been a roller coaster for me. But I am doing my best, and that's all that you can do. That's all that you can do, is do your best. So after, I'll get back on to the actual, I keep playing with my hair because I'm nervous, I get emotional, and I just don't like that. But it's okay. So after the initial 3-week bleed, I ended bleeding on the 22nd. And according to my app, I actually ovulated that 23rd, which was accurate because I had actually taken an ovulation test. I don't know what caused me to take it the day after I stopped bleeding from my miscarriage, but I did. And it actually came back that it was a positive test. I was going to be ovulating at any point after that. And we did, my husband and I did, I'm going to call it baby dance. We baby danced, and we did all we could, pretty much. But it just didn't happen, and I started a new period on the 5th. So I only got 2 weeks of no period. And it just didn't happen for us, which I was upset, but I now realize that my body probably just needed some more time, and that's okay. My body did go through something really big and really traumatic, and so I just need to remind myself that my body will become pregnant when it's ready to. And that's what I keep telling myself is, me, my head, my heart, everything may be ready, but maybe my body isn't. So maybe my body's taking the time, so I will have a healthy pregnancy and not miscarry again. So November 5th, I started a new period, and I ended November 12th. And so after that, my app says, I started using a new app. The new app I use is Glow. The other one, I can't remember the name, but the other one told me I ovulated around the 21st of November. But this Glow app is telling me that I ovulated around the 15th. We baby danced all that week, even afterwards, and obviously it didn't happen. But I did have some serious symptoms, and I thought they were serious pregnancy symptoms. But unfortunately on the 26th, on Thanksgiving, I did start bleeding, or spotting, and it was very weird because one, it was a holiday, and so it was a very, very emotional time. I broke down, and it was hard on me because I had found out some news about somebody else, and it kind of hit me hard because I was just like hoping, you know, I was happy for them, and then I was hoping for myself. And then the same day that I found, you know, I start bleeding, and I essentially found out I'm not pregnant. So it's hard, but it's okay. But this last period, starting on Thanksgiving, has been very, very weird for me. I ended yesterday on November 6th, so it was almost 2 weeks of a period, which is not normal for me. My cycle history was before my son. I went on birth control, I think, in 2011, and I was on birth control until 2015, until I got pregnant with him. So I got pregnant on the pill, and my cycles were obviously normal and all that because I was on the pill. So my cycles are completely normal. Then I had my son, and a couple months after my son was born, after I had my son, I got the Mirena IUD, and I had that for about 3.5 years. And I know some women hate it. I know everybody has their own experiences, but I loved it. It was great for me. It was a great choice for me and my body, and I loved it. But we got that removed July of 2020, end of July. So just a few months ago, and then by August 22nd, we knew we were pregnant. And then obviously end of September, I find out that I technically, from the time that I knew I was pregnant to the time I actually lost the baby, was less than a month. I found out I was pregnant on August 22nd, and I found out I lost the baby. The baby actually passed on September 15th. So less than a month I had with the baby, but that doesn't discount my feelings and the love and excitement I had for that baby. So then after that, the whole miscarriage and everything. But this cycle was really, really odd. I've never experienced it. And if you have, please let me know, because it was really weird to the point that I ended up going to the urgent care because I've never experienced anything like this. I would say from the 26th to about the 29th, I think it was like off and on spotting. I would spot for 12 hours and then it would stop. Spot for 12 hours and then it would stop. It was really weird. I never had a period start like that. So I got my hopes up thinking maybe it's implantation bleeding. I don't know. You know, I went through the rabbit hole of looking up all the videos and all that stuff. And if you are in the 2-week wait, if you are trying to conceive, I know it's hard, but try not to jump down that rabbit hole, because it was very difficult on me, because I was like, oh, it's probably implantation bleeding. You know, I'm probably pregnant. Well, it wasn't. So it was probably 3 days roughly of spotting, and then it started with my normal flow. I've always had kind of a light to a normal flow. I have never really experienced anything heavy except for the miscarriage. Within 1 to 2 days, it got extremely heavy to the point that I was very concerned in having to use maxi pads, because I was going through tampons very, very frequently, like minimum of 1 an hour. And everything you read online says if you're going through that much, then you need to go into the urgent care. I was also passing large clots, probably golf ball size, so that's not normal for my cycle. So I was worried. I'm like, okay, what if I'm miscarrying again? What if there was some complication from the miscarriage that I just didn't know about? I was worried, and it was extremely heavy to the point that just, you know, when you use the restroom, it was a lot. And to the point that if I would sit there, could feel it leaving my body, and it was a lot, and it wasn't normal. So I ended up going to the urgent care, trying to figure it out. And what I found out was my gynecologist, who originally was the one that helped me, or was my OB for the pregnancy, and then when the miscarriage, didn't tell me that my body could have an effect from the medicine that would cause these quite heavy cycles. I wasn't aware of that. And maybe I could have done some Googling, but at the same time, I think that my doctor should have also explained that to me and spoke to me. And my doctor really didn't talk to me or anything like that. And I just think that I wasn't treated the way that I should have been. So I am in the process of getting a new one. And so the doctor at the urgent care was very, very kind to me. He explained to me that this is normal and that this is usually a side effect with the medicine. I think, you know, for me it was kind of weird. I'm like, well, this is my second cycle since taking the medicine. Technically, well, if you want to count the miscarriage, it would have been my third. So this was my second cycle after my bleeding stopped from the miscarriage. So I was a little confused as to why it wouldn't have been the first cycle like this, but I guess my body's different. And so he just said it was normal, and he did all the tests, and he did blood tests, and my anemic levels were great. I wasn't anemic. I wasn't losing too much blood. And my HCG levels had finally reduced to 1, which normal HCG levels are 0 to 4. So if I do get a positive pregnancy test from here on out, it's a new pregnancy. It's not anything to do with the miscarriage. And mind you, it did take a long time for my body to get rid of the HCG. I know a lot of people, it leaves their system very quickly, but mine took over 6 weeks. So it was extremely difficult to continue to try to like test and see where your levels are and continue to get pregnancy tests that were positive weeks after the baby is out of my system. So that was extremely hard for me, but it's okay. It's all clear. It's all good. So the period finally stopped. It was very, very weird. It was like still pretty heavy, and then boom, it was just over. Like nothing. And I was like, okay, well, you're not going to trickle off. You're not going to do any of that. Nope, it was just done. So, tracking my ovulation, I think for my sake, I can track it on an app, but ovulation tests and all that stuff, I think it puts too much pressure on me, and it's too much stress on my husband and I, and it's just, you know, it doesn't make making a baby fun anymore. And I don't want to take that fun away. I don't want to take that time away. I don't want to add stress to it. So, you know, you're trying to have a baby, but don't stress yourself out. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be a time for you and your partner. So don't take that away. Don't make it feel like a chore or a job, or, you know, try not to do that. So that's what I'm doing for myself. I will have my app. I will log all my stuff, all that stuff, but I'm going to try and just let time happen. And I know that's probably easier said than done. Don't get me wrong. If it doesn't happen this cycle, I'll probably be heartbroken again. But that's okay. I know I've said this probably 1,000 times already. It's okay. You can feel whatever you want to feel. You can take however long you need to take. Because everybody's different. Everybody is completely different. So, do what feels right for you. Do what feels right for your body. And that's how I feel. If I take care of myself, take care of my relationship, take care of everything, then the baby will come. It's just a matter of time. So, from all my research, everything I can say is if you're trying to conceive, just have fun with it and try to baby dance as often as possible. Try not to depend on apps. Try not to depend on tests, because those could only get you so far. Now, if you baby dance at least every other day, then at least you know you're going to hit that window. At some point, you're going to hit that window. So that's probably the best advice I can give, or that I've heard, is just try every other day. If you can manage to do it every day, great for you. That's great. But at least try every other day, because that's when you'll probably, you'll hit the window. Every video that I've watched, everything says that that's a big recommendation, and that's really helped them, because these apps can tell you when they think you're going to ovulate, but they could be completely wrong, and you could be, you know, focusing on one day when you needed to be focusing on a few days before, a few days after. So do what feels right to you. If you need to pick up a hobby and distract yourself, then do it. I've started journaling. That seems to help me. I play video games. That helps me. I read books. Do things that keep your mind occupied, because not only is trying to conceive extremely difficult, is miscarriage extremely difficult. In the middle of a pandemic with a virus that's killing thousands of people, it makes it even harder. So take time for yourself. Take time for your relationship and just enjoy it. I hope this wasn't too much of a upsetting video or like a depressing video or anything, but I figured I'm not the only one struggling. I know I'm not the only one that's going to struggle, unfortunately. So I figured I can make this video, maybe help somebody. So I hope this helped, and I hope that if you're trying to conceive, it's going to happen for you. I really hope so. And if you are miscarrying, or if you've recently had a miscarriage, or if you've had one in the past, I'm sorry. You're not alone. It's very difficult, but as a society, we need to learn how to talk about it more. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to be open, and I'm trying to bring a positive light to talking about it. So if you've liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. And if you want to hear more about trying to conceive or any other questions about my experience, please comment down below. I have no problem answering them. I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks.